Chosen one, stop scrolling. This isn't motivation, this is confirmation. Something in your life shifted quietly, and love became the reason God intervened. The whisper before the rewrite. Before the rewrite, there was a warning. You felt delays that didn't make sense. Doors closed without explanation. That was mercy, not punishment. When heaven interrupts history, God doesn't erase timelines, He edits them. He steps in when destiny is threatened. What almost broke you was stopped. What almost settled you was removed. Why? It had to be love. This wasn't about success first. It wasn't about money yet. It was about the heart staying pure. Because polluted love corrupts destiny. The day you felt different. You noticed you couldn't love shallow anymore. Small talk drained you. Surface connections felt heavy. That was your spirit upgrading. Signs the timeline shifted. People disappeared without closure. Plans collapsed overnight. Your desires suddenly changed. That's not confusion, that's alignment. The chosen ONES paradox. You attract attention yet feel alone. You are strong yet deeply sensitive. You see through masks easily. That duality is intentional. Why society tries to dim you. Awakened people expose illusions. Your presence triggers insecurity. Your silence speaks loudly. So they try to label you strange. The love that almost broke you. That connection wasn't random. It was a lesson, not a destination. It showed you what you tolerated. So God removed it to protect you. Divine separation. Some goodbyes are sacred. Some endings are answered prayers. What left was blocking what's coming. Say thank you, not why. When time starts moving weird. Suddenly things accelerate. Then suddenly they pause. God controls pacing when love is involved. He won't rush what must last. The awakening pain. Awakening hurts before it heals. You mourn old versions of yourself. You outgrow people you love. Growth always costs comfort. The protection you didn't see. You were saved from wrong attachments. From soul ties that drain purpose. From loving someone who couldn't meet you. That's divine prevention. Why you can't go back. Your spirit won't let you. Old cycles feel suffocating. Old habits feel foreign. That's because the timeline moved forward. The love prepared for you. It won't confuse you. It won't compete with your purpose. It will feel calm, not chaotic. Peace is the password. Why you had to heal first. Unhealed love repeats patterns. Healed love builds legacy. God chose the second for you. That required isolation. The silent upgrade. While you felt stuck, heaven worked. While you cried, contracts shifted. While you waited, alignment happened. Comment if this feels personal. The difference now. You no longer chase. You no longer beg. You no longer force. You attract by being. The eyes that see you. The right love recognizes energy. Not looks, not status. They'll see your soul instantly. No explanation required. Why it took so long? Because shortcuts create scars. Because rushed love breaks callings. Because patience filters imposters. Timing was your shield. The inner confirmation. You feel peace reading this. Your chest feels warm. Your intuition feels loud. That's resonance, not coincidence. The enemy of divine love. Distraction was the tactic. Settling was the trap. Loneliness was the pressure. You passed the test. The role of faith. Faith kept you open. Faith kept you kind. Faith kept you hoping, even when logic failed. The version you've become. Stronger boundaries, softer heart, clearer vision. That's the upgraded you. Why this message found you? Because you were ready. Because denial ended. Because awareness activated. Share this with someone who needs it. The love that builds. It will build with you, pray with you, grow with you, and honor your calling. The final shift. What's coming won't repeat the past. It will redeem it. What broke you will make sense. Watch closely now. Embrace the new timeline. Stop doubting the delays. Stop romanticizing the past. Stop shrinking your light. This is your season. If this spoke to your soul, like this video. Subscribe to Chosen Wave and stay aligned. Comment, do you feel the timeline shift happening now? Chosen One, walk forward. Love is finally safe here. The quiet confidence. You don't announce your growth anymore. You move differently. You trust silence. That's maturity activated. When the old timeline calls, memories try to pull you back. Nostalgia pretends to be destiny. But your spirit feels heavy there. That's your sign to keep walking. The discernment gift. You read energy before words. You sense intentions instantly. You feel shifts before they happen. This is a chosen one marker. Why you stopped explaining. Not everyone deserves access. Not everyone understands depth. You learned peace over proving. That's spiritual authority. The divine delay in love. Love was paused for purpose. Your heart needed recalibration. Your standards needed elevation. God edits what humans rush. The inner child healing. You stopped chasing validation. You stopped repeating abandonment. You became your own safe place. That's timeline repair. When God closes emotional doors, it feels cruel at first. It feels lonely at night. But it saves your future. Protection often feels like loss. The upgraded DSIRES. You want connection with substance. Conversation with meaning. Love with God in the center. Surface no longer satisfies. Why you attract karmic people. They reveal what still needs healing. They expose hidden wounds. They train discernment. Then they exit. The shift in your prayers. You stopped begging. You started trusting. You ask with certainty now. That's faith evolution. The weight you dropped. Guilt no longer controls you. Shame lost its grip. Fear lost its voice. Freedom feels unfamiliar, but right. When solitude became comfort. Loneliness turned into clarity. Silence became sacred. You met yourself honestly. That's awakening depth. The love you refused. You walked away this time. You chose self-respect. You honored your worth. That changed everything. The energetic cleanse. Your circle got smaller. Your vision got sharper. Your spirit got lighter. Alignment has a cost. Why you feel misunderstood. You're ahead of the room. You speak from awareness. Others hear from ego. That gap creates distance. The pattern you broke. No more overgiving. No more self-abandoning. No more fixing others. Cycles ended. The peace after chaos. Your nervous system healed. Your heart slowed down. Your mind got quiet. Peace became normal. When love is no longer an idol. You don't worship relationships. You don't lose yourself in them. You invite love, not need it. That's balance restored. The new standard. Consistency over intensity. Safety over sparks. Truth over fantasy. This is chosen love. Why this season feels still. Stillness is preparation. Silence is instruction. Waiting is strengthening. Don't rush it. The unseen agreements. Spiritual contracts were rewritten. Soul ties were dissolved. Future connections were aligned. Heaven moved quietly. The confidence to walk away. You trust timing now. You trust God's hand. You trust your intuition. That's mastery. When you stopped chasing signs, you became the sign. Your peace became proof. Your clarity became confirmation. Knowing replaced questioning. The soul that can meet you. They're healing too. They're being prepared. They're learning patience. Parallel growth is happening. The love that honors God. It won't pull you away. It will push you closer. It will respect your calling. That's divine alignment. The final inner shift. You no longer fear being alone. You fear betraying yourself. Your loyalty shifted inward. That's power awakened. The still small knowing. You don't need constant reassurance anymore. Your spirit recognizes truth instantly. You feel settled, not anxious. That's inner alignment speaking. When old triggers lose power. Things that once hurt you don't anymore. The reactions faded. The wounds closed quietly. Healing doesn't announce itself. The difference between lonely and alone. Lonely seeks noise. Alone finds presence. You learned to sit with yourself. That changed your frequency. Why certain NAMES don't sting. You released the attachment. You kept the lesson. You dropped the expectation. Closure happened internally. The end of over-explaining love. You stopped convincing people to choose you. You let actions speak. You trust consistency now. Words lost their spell. The heart that no longer panics. Silence doesn't scare you. Distance doesn't trigger you. Time doesn't rush you. Security grew inside. When God quiets your desires. Not everything is meant to be pursued. Some things are meant to pass. Discernment replaced impulse. Wisdom matured. The protection of disinterest. You don't feel drawn to chaos. Drama feels loud. Peace feels magnetic. That's emotional sobriety. Why you attract calmer energy. Your nervous system healed. Your boundaries stabilized. Your intentions purified. Energy responds to truth. The moment you stopped competing. Comparison lost relevance. Your path felt personal. You honored your pace. Confidence deepened. The soul recognition. When it comes, you'll know. No butterflies of anxiety. Just familiarity and calm. That's alignment, not excitement. The season of discerning HERTS. You watch patterns, not promises. You notice consistency. You trust time as a revealer. Patience became your filter. When your standards stop apologizing, you no longer feel guilty. You don't negotiate values. You stand firm quietly. Self-respect became natural. The love that won't cost your peace. It won't disturb your sleep. It won't trigger fear. It won't confuse your spirit. Peace is non-negotiable now. Why you needed everything that hurt. Pain refined your vision. Loss clarified your worth. Delay protected your future. Nothing was wasted. The grace of emotional maturity. You respond, not react. You listen more. You choose silence wisely. That's power under control. When you stopped CHSING intensity. Intensity burned you before. Now you seek depth. Stability feels attractive. Growth shifted taste. The trust you built with God. You stopped questioning every pause. You rest in timing. You surrender outcomes. Faith matured. The inner order restored. Your mind slowed down. Your heart softened. Your spirit stabilized. Balance returned. The love that meets you whole. Not to fix you. Not to save you. But to walk beside you. That's partnership, not attachment. The peace that confirms the path. No inner conflict. No gut warnings. No emotional fog. Clarity feels quiet. Why you don't feel urgent anymore. You trust alignment. You trust preparation. You trust unfolding. Rushing lost meaning. The energy you carry now. Grounded. Centered. Unbothered. That's chosen energy. When you realized you were never late. You were being prepared. You were being protected. You were being refined. Timing was exact. The love that arrives naturally. No force. No games. No confusion. Just flow. The deep breath you finally took. Your body relaxed. Your shoulders dropped. Your heart slowed. Safety became internal. When you stopped seeking permission. You trusted your choices. You honored your intuition. You moved without consensus. Authority shifted inward. The loss of emotional chaos. High highs faded. Low lows stabilized. Balance replaced extremes. Healing leveled you. Why certain doors stay closed. Not every opportunity is alignment. Some paths drain destiny. Discernment guards calling. No is sacred. The love that require masks. You don't perform. You don't pretend. You don't shrink. Authenticity feels safe. When you learn to pause. You respond slowly now. You feel before acting. You choose wisely. Wisdom leads movement. The end of romanticizing potential. You value reality. You watch follow through. You respect patterns. Illusions dissolved. The inner stillness. Your thoughts softened. Your reactions slowed. Your emotions stabilized. Peace took root. Why you don't chase attention. Validation lost appeal. Approval lost power. Purpose took center stage. Focus sharpened. The love that supports your calling. It doesn't compete. It doesn't distract. It amplifies purpose. Alignment feels mutual. When you released urgency. Time became an ally. Waiting felt productive. Patience felt powerful. Trust expanded. The quiet discernment. You sense misalignment early. You withdraw gracefully. You protect peace. Boundaries breathe. Why you feel out of place. Old rooms feel tight. Old conversations feel empty. Growth outpaced familiarity. Expansion creates distance. The new language of love. Consistency speaks. Presence reassures. Effort confirms. Words follow actions. When you stopped being available. Access became intentional. Energy became precious. Rest became priority. Self-honor activated. The difference between attraction and alignment. Attraction excites. Alignment stabilizes. Attraction fades. Alignment builds. The self you met in silence. You faced fears. You honored wounds. You accepted truth. Integration happened. Why you no longer fear endings. Endings taught freedom. Endings created space. Endings cleared vision. Release became strength. The peace of being misunderstood. You don't correct narratives. You don't defend growth. You let truth reveal itself. Confidence matured. When you stopped overgiving. Balance replaced sacrifice. Reciprocity became standard. Energy preserved itself. Self-respect locked in. The love that arrives without chaos. No emotional roller coaster. No guessing games. No mixed signals. Clarity stands firm. The inner check that guides you. Your gut whispers. Your spirit confirms. Your mind aligns. Intuition leads. Why you don't miss who you were. Growth feels right. Regression feels heavy. Evolution is irreversible. Awakening is permanent. The timeline that finally fits. Life feels intentional. Moments feel aligned. Love feels possible. This path makes sense. The softening of resistance. You stopped fighting the flow. You stopped forcing outcomes. You allowed things to unfold. Surrender brought relief. When you trusted the process, you didn't need all the answers. You moved with partial light. Faith filled the gaps. That's spiritual maturity. The shift from survival to creation. You're no longer just getting through. You're building intentionally. Your energy feels expansive. You're creating, not coping. Why your intuition got sharper. Noise reduced. Clarity increased. Your inner voice grew louder. Stillness trained your discernment. The end of self-betrayal. You don't ignore red flags. You don't silence discomfort. You listen fully now. Self-trust was restored. When love stopped feeling dangerous, your heart feels safe again. Vulnerability doesn't scare you. You trust your boundaries. Security replaced fear. The peace of emotional honesty. You name what you feel. You don't minimize pain. You don't exaggerate joy. Truth feels grounding. Why you move quietly now. You don't announce plans. You don't seek applause. You let results speak. Power prefers silence. The energy of self-respect. You walk away calmly. You choose yourself consistently. You honor your needs. That's chosen energy. When you realized you were guided. Synchronicities increased. Confirmations appeared. Right messages arrived on time. Guidance became obvious. The end of chaotic attraction. Drama lost its pull. Confusion lost its charm. Peace became attractive. Your nervous system chose wisely. Why you don't fear depth. Surface feels boring. Depth feels like home. You crave real connection. Your soul recognizes substance. The inner agreement you made. No more settling. No more rushing. No more abandoning yourself. Standards solidified. When you stopped chasing closure, you gave it to yourself. You accepted what was. You released the need for answers. Freedom followed. The difference in your presence. You feel grounded. You feel steady. You feel clear. People sense it. Why you don't overthink anymore. You trust first instincts. You don't spiral. You stay present. Peace trained your mind. The love that matches your rhythm. No pressure. No performance. No anxiety. Just harmony. When you stopped looking back, lessons stayed. Attachments dissolved. The future opened. Momentum returned. The confidence that need loudness. You don't prove. You don't compete. You simply are. That's inner authority. Why you feel protected. You are. Seen and guided. Aligned and guarded. Divine oversight is active. The timeline that continues to unfold. Each step feels intentional. Each delay makes sense. Each moment teaches. Trust deepens. The gentle certainty. You don't question your path like before. Doubt lost its grip. Confidence settled quietly. Knowing replaced anxiety. When you stopped trying to be understood, you accepted misinterpretation. You released the need to convince. You chose peace over approval. Freedom followed honesty. The shift in how you love. You love without attachment. You care without losing yourself. You give without depletion. Balance redefined love. Why your energy feels rare. You're not reactive. You're not desperate. You're not loud. That calm is uncommon. The moment you trusted your heart again. Not blindly, but wisely. With boundaries intact. Courage returned. When you realized waiting was active. Waiting taught patience. Waiting refined discernment. Waiting strengthened faith. Stillness was work. The loss that made you stronger. What left revealed truth. What stayed proved loyalty. What changed grew you. Resilience was born. Why you don't fear intimacy. You know how to protect yourself now. You know when to pause. You know when to open. Wisdom guards your heart. The peace of self-acceptance. You stopped fixing yourself. You stopped comparing journeys. You honored your timing. Self-love stabilized you. When you no longer chase emotions. You choose consistency. You value reliability. You trust steady love. Security feels right. The soul alignment you feel coming. Something feels near. Not rushed. Not forced. Just approaching. Why your spirit feels lighter. Old burdens dropped. Old fears dissolved. Old guilt faded. Release restored energy. The end of internal war. Mind and heart agreed. Spirit led calmly. Conflict quieted. Integration happened. When you stopped doubting signs. You noticed patterns. You trusted nudges. You followed peace. Guidance felt natural. The love that meets you present. No past projections. No future anxiety. Just now. Presence became intimacy. Why you move with intention. Every choice matters. Every yes is conscious. Every no is respected. Purpose directs you. The strength of emotional discipline. You don't react impulsively. You pause. You breathe. You choose. When you accepted you were different. You stopped hiding depth. You stopped shrinking insight. You embraced uniqueness. Authenticity empowered you. The timing that finally feels right. Not perfect, but aligned. Not rushed, but ready. Why you trust your journey. It shaped you. It refined you. It prepared you. Gratitude replaced regret. The quiet joy. You smile more softly. You laugh more freely. You rest more deeply. Contentment settled in. The inner yes. You don't hesitate like before. Your body agrees with your decisions. Peace confirms your choices. Alignment feels physical now. When you stopped romanticizing struggle, you realized pain isn't proof. Hardships aren't badges. Ease can be divine. You allowed goodness in. The shift from proving to being. You no longer perform healing. You no longer display strength. You simply exist honestly. That's real power. Why your silence feels loud. Your presence speaks now. Your energy communicates. Words became optional. Authority settled in. The end of chasing destiny. You walk steadily. You stay open. You trust unfolding. Destiny meets you halfway. When you stopped feeling behind, comparison dissolved. Your pace felt intentional. Your path felt personal. Pressure lifted. The love that respects your space. It doesn't crowd you. It doesn't rush you. It doesn't demand. It understands why you feel seen by life. Opportunities align naturally. People respond differently. Moments feel intentional. Recognition came quietly. The strength of emotional sobriety. You don't spiral. You don't dramatize. You don't suppress. You stay clear. When you learn to receive, you stopped deflecting kindness. You allowed support. You accepted love. Receiving healed you. The end of self-doubt loops. Your mind rests. Your heart trusts. Your spirit leads. Confidence stabilized. Why your boundaries feel natural. You don't explain them. You don't apologize. You don't negotiate. They're embodied. The difference in how you pray. Less words. More presence. More listening. Prayer became relationship. When you stopped rehearsing the past, memory softened. Lessons stayed. Emotional charge faded. Freedom expanded. The love that meets your depth. It doesn't skim. It doesn't rush. It stays. Depth recognized depth. Why you don't fear being seen. You've seen yourself fully. Nothing feels hidden. Authenticity feels safe. Visibility no longer threatens. The inner order. Thoughts align. Emotions cooperate. Spirit leads. Harmony restored. When you trusted life again, you opened slowly. You stayed grounded. You allowed joy. Hope returned. The energy of quiet readiness. You're not waiting anxiously. You're prepared calmly. You're available. Readiness feels still. Why this phase feels sacred. Nothing is random. Nothing feels wasted. Everything feels intentional. Reverence filled the moment. The deep settled calm. Your nervous system learned safety. Your breath feels slower. Your thoughts feel kinder. Home moved inside you. When you stopped questioning your worth, you no longer negotiate value. You no longer wait for permission. You stand rooted. Self-recognition became enough. The way time feels different now. Moments stretch. Presence deepens. Rushing feels unnatural. You're finally here. Why you don't entertain confusion. Mixed signals feel obvious. Half effort feels loud. Your clarity rejects chaos. Discernment is automatic. The strength of softness. You didn't harden. You refined. You stayed open without bleeding. That's advanced healing. When you chose peace over chemistry, butterflies stopped leading. Stability took the wheel. Calm became attractive. Wisdom rewired desire. The inner compass. You don't crowdsource decisions. You listen inward. You move deliberately. Direction feels anchored. Why you don't fear pauses. Pauses speak. Pauses protect. Pauses prepare. Silence carries instruction. The end of self-abandonment. You don't override intuition. You don't shrink needs. You don't betray truth. Loyalty returned to self. When you stopped being everything for everyone. You released responsibility. You honored limits. You conserved energy. Balance healed you. The love that triggers old wounds. It doesn't awaken anxiety. It doesn't test worth. It feels steady. Healing recognizes healing. Why your aura feels different. You're not leaking energy. You're not seeking approval. You're contained. Presence feels whole. The power of selective access. Not everyone hears your story. Not everyone sees your heart. Privacy protects purpose. Sacredness requires boundaries. When you trusted the unseen, you moved without guarantees. You leaned into faith. You released control. Trust became action. Chosen one, if this message touched your spirit, don't ignore the confirmation. Like this video to seal the alignment. Subscribe to Chosen Wave if you know your awakening isn't accidental. Comment right now. Do you feel the timeline shift happening in your life, yes or no? Engage because what you acknowledge grows, and this season responds to faith, not silence.